Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another BJ & Co. Rail Nation video. Today we are going to show you guys a little bit of tips and tricks to help you up your prestige game, give you some nice good numbers so that you can have lots of gold carrying over and help your rank in this game. You can see right now I am 29th in the world, so I feel like I can talk to this with a little bit of experience. I'm by far not the best. I'm sitting at 235,000 prestige currently, almost going into era 6. If we take a look here, like I said, I am 29th, but if we jump right to the top, there are always people that are going to be better than you out there. Lumpy here right now is at almost 3 times my prestige right now with 689,000, so doing fantastic. So I'm not the god in this, but I feel like I can talk to it well, being in the top 2% of this world. So let's get on into it, guys. First things first, haul required goods. Every city that you're connected to has required goods, and the bigger the city level is, the more you're going to get from prestige from it. So here we've got Boys. This is the main city that I haul to, level 37, and if we pick one of these, you can see here that the first place person is going to get 1,200 prestige. That's a ton of prestige. That doesn't also take into account some of the special stuff on the USA scenario. Don't worry about that too much right now. If you're doing USA, click on this button, take a look at what you do, because you can get huge boosts to prestige by your team being ahead. But yeah, so hauling required goods, if you can be near the top, you're going to get a ton of prestige right there. What I like to do as well is to run some of every good. You can see I'm ranked on all of them today. Now, it's not a big thing, because, but each one goes a long way. So right here, let's take a look. So machinery, there's 27 people running it right now. So even if I just ran 1 ton of this as a different person that hasn't ran it yet, you'll get a minimum of 4 prestige. And there's a lot of people running them in this city, right? Because it is one of the big ones. What I also like to do is connect to other cities. And we're just going to jump on over to Eugene, who's a little bit lower level, but close by. And here you can see, if we jump on into it, by connecting to this city, I have also ran more to it. Just one of each in each of these. So my pipes are giving me 100 prestige. My glass is giving me 54 prestige. And this is only 324 tons that I've run. So this is going to be about 250 prestige just from Eugene. And all I'm using is my bonus engine from Era 1 to just cycle all day long, unless I need it elsewhere. It just drops a load of each to the town, and there we go. So definitely you want to run at least 1 train load of every required good to every city that you've got going on. Where you'll really see that you'll benefit from it is if you go to somewhere like Casper, which is one of the lowest cities in the world right now, but relatively close to where I started. So I branched out, I connected. And if we take a look in here, again, the prestige isn't as high because it's lower, but there's only 5 people running it to this city. So it's very easy to get 100, 200 prestige without dedicating much of your trains, to allow your trains to still level your main city, as well as gain you money while you're just picking up the bits of prestige here and there. I'm basically running this with my career engine and all of my bonus engines. I keep my centaurs, which is what I'm running currently, just doing my money runs and leveling up when we decide we want to level the city. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is, I mentioned connecting to multiple cities to run the goods, but connecting to cities as well benefits you a little bit in that there are medals to do with connecting 2 different cities. I'm up to 8 right now, but there's usually all sorts of different ones. Definitely take a look in here and see what other medals there are, because all the medals give you different amounts of prestige that will go towards your total. And some of them are very simple things like make all transports of 1 good for a day. The earlier you can do this, the better, of course, because it's sometimes late game tough to do just 1 good for the entire game, especially if you're hauling to all the different cities like I have been. But like this one, spot landing 2. Finish a competition with only 10 seconds left. Try it. Try doing it. It's 300 prestige if you can. Might as well do it. Might as well take advantage of that. So being connected to multiple cities also opens your door for whatever. I mean, you should always be doing this in your town anyways, but know when your competitions are. If you click on the competitions tab, you can take a look at the soon here, and it'll show you all the upcoming competitions that are in the cities that you're connected to. Most of these have a cash component to them. And I would say about 50% of them, maybe a little less, have a prestige component to them. So keep running these competitions if you're connected, and you will get, as long as you can finish them, you will get a portion of this. I mean, you might not get the 190 prestige if you're not able to finish first, if it's a city that's a long way away and you're not connected to all the prime industries. But even if you have to haul from the next city over to get it there, or a close warehouse, you can usually get easy 100 prestige at this point in the game. And I mean, it cycles, or it varies depending on what stage of the eras you are in. But that is another great way to do it. And it just, the benefits keep going up as you connect to more cities. So that very much helps there as well. So those are my main tips for you guys. Haul your required goods. That will get you big boosts of prestige. As long as you're doing what your city needs to level, there's tons of prestige in it for you there. Run one train load of every good to every city you're connected of every day, and that will just be a consistent supply of prestige that's coming on in as you're going through there. To benefit from that, connect to those multiple cities. That will give you more options of hauling every day to get more and more prestige coming in the door, and will also opens up more competitions for you, which you should definitely be running to help up your prestige game. And then finally, take a look at those medals, guys, and see if there's anything in there that you can do to get more prestige out of it there. So nothing too crazy. The one thing I will say, guys, is don't harm your city growth just because you're hunting after prestige, right? You still want to grow your cities, because the higher the level of the city, the more prestige you have access to from those cities. I mean, if you want to go and be a prestige hunter, you're more than welcome to do that, but don't screw over the teams that are trying to build the cities and trying to make it to the end game. End game also has a ton of prestige available for you, so if you can connect to mega cities, if you can be hauling those goods at that time too, you'll get a huge boost. So I strongly suggest working on getting attached to a mega city and pushing a city to be a mega city, because you want access to that as well. And let's be honest,